All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome to this special timing research event. And I have an excellent presentation with Fausto lined up for you. Um, of course, just a reminder, this is for educational purposes only. Trading is not suitable for all people. And please consult a financial advisor and only trade with money you can afford to lose. The session is being recorded and will be posted to TimingResearch.com as soon as I can get it processed. Also, if you search for Timing Research on YouTube, Substack, or your favorite podcast app, you can find it there as well. I have Fausto here. He's going to be explaining what tools he uses to spot breakouts in the market. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Fausto Puglisi of Cyber Trading University.
David, thanks for having me again, and welcome everyone. Hopefully, everybody had a very exciting market. We're going to talk a little about breakouts. I'm going to show you what is the biggest reason why people lose money in trading. And you're going to be quite amazed, but you're going to probably be a little disappointed on some of your trading because you're going to see that a lot of you have been reading charts backwards. I'm going to teach you how to stop reading the left of the chart. I'm going to show you what's called the right of the chart and how to find these breakouts, but most importantly, how to control the big losses. So, like David said, just please keep in mind there is a very high risk in trading, and don't go out there and trade what you can't afford to lose. Now, thank you, David, again, and Timing Research and the team for having me back. It's always been great to coming here and talking to the Timing Research fans out there. Like I said, I've been doing this with David since the day he started. It's got to be over almost a decade now, and it's just it's great that everyone is here learning how to trade. But listen, if you're not going to take it and use it, you kind of wasting your time. And hopefully, this will be a last time and we'll get you ready and actively trading. So these are the things that we're going to need. We're going to talk about. I'm going to teach you how to read the big money orders. I'm going to show you basically best times to trade, worst time to trade. We're going to go check out the market. We're going to look at some real live orders and see what's out there moving in the market. We're also going to see how the tools that I use, like the big percentage gainers, the losers, and how to find out which stock out of all of them are going to give you the least amount of risk with the high amount of reward. I'm also going to tell you why people fail in today's industry, because it really is a very big failure, probably more than you would even imagine. And you probably, if you knew how bad it was, you probably wouldn't want to be in this business. But the reason why people lose in this industry is because of improper education. Think about it. Would you give your money to some financial analyst and never learn finance? Well, guess what? We're no different. What are we trying to do? Trade our own money. Well, how you know what you're trading if you don't even know how to trade it? But I'm going to show you what it is and why that is. So everything that we're going to talk about at the end of the presentation, which is going to probably be, it's going to go really fast within the next 30 to 45 minutes. I'm going to invite all of you to come to my trading floor, and let me go out there and just show you what that trading floor looks like. Here's the actual trading floor at Cyber Trading University. Market is closed. We still have over 170 people in the after hours still trading. They're looking at the stock AMD right now. Been on a big run. Here's our chat board. Here's all our traders. So you get to see all the traders, what they're doing. I'm going to invite all of you here to seek, because what we do practice what we preach. And I'm also going to give you away my book for sticking around, How to Beat Market Makers of Their Own Game. So you definitely want to stick around for that. Now, let's go to the live markets really quick and see what's going on. All right. So there's been a lot of stocks that are moving in the market. And, obviously you have the Teslas, you have the NVIDIAs, you have all these stocks that are moving. And I want to bring up NVIDIA, for example, really quick. By the way, does anyone have any stock that you would like to take a look at before I go out there and just kind of go out and do it on my own? Any stocks out there that anyone here wants to look at? Just give me a chat. I need a stock symbol, not the name. Not Berkshire Hathaway. I need something else. I need something with volume, something with a lot of orders. All right. You know what I traded today, which probably some of you probably didn't know about? Did you guys are familiar with StubHub? StubHub just went public. Okay. StubHub started at $27, came all the way down to here around 16. Today had a really nice run. You could see it right here. Big run. And what's crazy, it kind of stopped at this number at 2013. and then came back down to 2019, and then it kind of finished up right back at that resistance level. So let me ask all of you a question. Why would StubHub had such a great run up early in the morning and decide to stop right around 2013? Why not 20? Why not 21? Where did this number right here around 2013 come from? Why that number? Does anyone know? Take a guess. Take a wild guess. Actually, I'll make it a little bit easier for you. How do stocks go up and go down, everybody? Gillis, could you tell me? Alan, what about you? How does stocks go up and go down? Does anybody know? Exactly. Okay. Buyers and sellers. Can everybody just say that? Or just say BNS, buyers and sellers? Okay. Now, this is the issue. Do you see buyers and sellers on a chart? No. So let me show you something here that we teach at Cyber Trade University. This is called level 4. Okay. And if you look right here, let me just get my crayons out here so I can draw this up for you. There we go. Okay. So here is 930. And you can see that stock had a big run up, right? You see this red line right here? That red line from all this morning was a seller around 41,000 shares. So, and not only that, but there was another seller here. And let me zoom in and just see how many shares that was. So there you go. You had about 20,000 and 40,000. So why did the stock stop at that price? Because that's where the big sellers are. Okay. You can't see that on a chart. Let's go. Let me do one more for you. Let's go check out NVIDIA. Okay. So NVIDIA, let me zoom over here so you can see what's going on. Okay. So NVIDIA, let me bring up the chart here. Hold on. NVDA. So NVIDIA, you could see here this morning, ran from 186, went all the way up in a matter of 30 minutes, and it topped out right under 190. And then from 10 o'clock, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4. You're talking 6 hours. Where did it go? Why did it make such a big move and decide to stop right below 190? Well, when you go over here and you look at the orders, you could see that there was a 923,000 share seller sitting there at 190. Now, how do stocks go up and go down? Buyers and sellers. What do you have? A big seller. Now, I'm a big fan of NVIDIA. I love it. I actually own it. But what is going to make NVIDIA go higher? Buyers. What's going to prevent it from going lower? Sellers. So as of right now, when you're trying to figure out like, oh, it's there, it's going to break it, it'll break it. But to do these breakouts, we got to break through that seller first of almost 1 million shares. Same thing goes with Tesla. Same thing goes with Bitcoin. These are the orders that you have to follow. Now, my question to everybody here, did I lose anybody yet? Is everybody following along? Good, because this is what you're about to learn on the right of the chart. Now, listen, let me just tell you a little about myself and why Timing Research has me here. David has seen me doing live traders challenges. I beat every single school I competed against. I've been around the world. I've done these events. I was just up in Toronto last month, did the same thing. And but the thing is this, what made me a good trader? Well, I live here in New York. I work for one of the biggest trading firms in the industry. I've learned from the best market makers in the industry. And what I've learned on the first day in the job is what I'm teaching you right now. It doesn't matter what you think. It matters what Wall Street thinks. Most people think like Main Street. Main Street is not going to beat Wall Street. Like it or not, hate all you want. If you want to do it, you got to learn what the big boys are doing. And the big boys are following orders. That's what we do. Now, with my 35 years of experience, being a floor trader, a NASDAQ trader, started one of the first schools in the industry in trading. I love teaching people because I hate seeing people lose money in the industry. It's a 90% failure rate. And why would you, if a doctor told you have a 90% chance of surviving surgery, you only have a 10% chance of surviving it, would you do it? No matter how bad it is, you're better off fighting it than try to lose. Well, guess what? The reason why it's such a big failure rate is everybody's doing the opposite. And how do I know that? Because that's what we do at Cybertrain University. That's how I was trained as a market maker, and that's why people fail. Now, if anyone here would like a copy of my book and you want to know a little bit more about it, could you just go out there right now and just send me an email at Fausto at c2trading.com. And what I like to do is just basically tell you guys, you'll read a little story about how I got started. I'm not here to talk about, put all the feathers in my cap and tell you how great I am, because that does not make you money. You can go to Amazon. You can pay me 40, 50 bucks for it. I'll give it to you for free. I'd rather give it to you for free, because you know what? If I could change you, you can go out there and change the rest of the world, because there's just too much people failing. So it's a great fast read. It's color. You're going to see charts. You're going to see level 3 quotes. You're going to see everything. All right. So just write on the subject line, book. Fausto, send me your book and I'll get it over to you. All right. Now, over the years, I've been featured at some of the biggest, institutions in the industry, and also been on all financial stations. The one I'm most proud about is the one working with NASDAQ. NASDAQ wanted me to teach people how to trade the markets. Now, listen, NASDAQ doesn't need me. I need NASDAQ, because NASDAQ has a very big blowhorn. They're the ones that, that's an exchange. It's not a brokerage firm. And they know that if you guys knew how to trade, then you'll last longer in this industry. So next week, I don't know if anyone's going to be around, but I will be at the Orlando Money Show, October 16th and 18th. I don't know if anyone's going to be around, but feel free to come and visit us there. All right. I also, on my spare time, just to kind of tell you, I have a home living channel. And, if you want to know a little bit more about me, listen, trading is not a full-time job. Okay. So one thing that's great about this is that all those things you wanted to do, travel, cooking, sports, golf, whatever it is, trading is the job for you. So you will have the time to do all that good stuff. But, listen, like I said, this is not about me. This is really about you, because you need to know is, Fausto, how did you do it so successfully? How did you do it for so long? Well, that's what we need to. That's what I need to focus on. So the question I have for all to you is this: what's your biggest challenge in trading? Okay, and the correct answer is losing trades. You see, you're not here to learn how to make money. You're here to learn how to stop losing it. That's everybody's issue. Okay. You don't go to the doctor because you're healthy, other than maybe a yearly checkup. And even people I know, they don't even do that. You go there because you're not feeling well. You're sick. There's something wrong. Okay. Well, that's why most of you probably here. You're probably not making as much money as you like. Well, we need to fix that problem. All right. And you have to ask yourself, why is that? We always ask that question. Why? What are we doing wrong? Is it because maybe you don't have a game plan? Maybe you're too greedy. How about this? How about you're afraid to sell? Personally, I know what the big answer is. No one likes to take a loss. No one likes to admit that they're wrong. And that's what we need to fix. And what's going to fix it is that you need to understand that you need to now officially not learn to be a leader. You got to learn how to be a follower. Why is that? Because there are people out there, that traders, market makers like myself, trading millions of shares of stock. You cannot outsmart us, like it or not. You want to go up against a million share order? Go right ahead. Unless you're going to take him out, it's not going anywhere. So we need to fix this issue immediately. This is going to be the number one issue. Is going to change the way you look at stocks when you come here tomorrow. And these are the two tools that we mainly use. Something called level 3 and level 4. Now, I have a question for everyone that's in here. Could everyone just give me a chat back and tell me Does anyone here have level 3 or level 4? Just give me a yes or no. Just kind of want to see if anyone here has it. Billy, you don't have it. Okay, good. I'm glad that you're honest. Juan, what about you? Steven, Craig, Chris, Billy? Billy, you already told us. Alan, no. Chris, you do have it. What do you have? Level 3 or level 4? Chris, give me a yes. Anyone else? Oh, you got both. Okay, good. So out of everybody that's here, only one person has it. Well, think about that. And I'm glad that everyone here is admitting that. Just gets to show you why people are losing money in the market. Now, let me just tell you right now, what you're about to see is going to be extremely disturbing, because you're about to see right now exactly how the market really works and why you've been trading blind. But don't worry about it. It's never too late to fix it. Okay. So let me start off with level 3 quotes. Now, if you subscribe to our channel on social media, I have a lot of great short videos on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Those are really our 3 big, most popular ones. I've done a lot of presentations for NASDAQ, and I want to explain to you what it is, and then we'll talk about level 4. Now, when you look at a trade, and let me bring this up really quick, and let me change this up. Let me get this up a little bit. Book viewer. Let me change this up. All right. So this is called level 2 quotes right here. Okay. Now, and let me just X out of these so it's not a distraction. There's a time and sales window right here. So when you look at level 2 quotes, you're basically seeing in real time where the bid is and where the offer is. So if I highlight this and type in XNAS, which stands for NASDAQ, what you're seeing is the best buyer and the best seller that's trading at that exchange. New York Stock Exchange, EDGX, all these ECNs exchanges. Chicago, those are all exchanges. BATS, all of them. So you're seeing what the best buyer and best seller. Okay, so what does that do for you? It does nothing. Zero. You're just getting real-time quotes. Okay. Now, let me explain to you the difference. The difference between this and level 3 is now you're seeing every buyer and every seller out there around the entire world that actually wants what they're looking to pay for that stock. That's what you got right here. So here are your buyers. Here are your sellers. On level 2, you're just seeing this number right here. But when you're looking at NASDAQ Book Viewer, you're seeing every order out there. And whoever wants to buy for the most is up on top. And whoever wants to buy for less money is down at the bottom. That is the big difference. Now, how is this going to help you? Well, that's what we're going to learn right now. Here you have what's called a support, where a stock hits a big buyer and it goes up. And you could see right here, the stock started right around this price, around 1640, came back down, bounced, came back down. Finally, you hit a really big support level here, and it shot right back up to 1740. Why did it stop specifically right around that $15.70? Well, when you look over here, what makes support levels are buyers. So get that straight. You don't need to look for support. Supports don't exist unless the buyers are out there. And that buyer out there is a 5-digit number of 76,000 shares. Okay. And there are 14 orders around the entire world that are trading the stock that equal to the 76,000. Now, does that sound like a lot? Well, when you look at the overall orders out there, you got 500, 600, 300,000. A lot of these numbers don't mean anything to you because they're not really as significant as this number of 76,000. That is what separates every order out there to buy and every order out there to sell. Now, let's kind of repeat that again. What makes a stock make a support level? Buyers. That's what makes it go up. Now, let's talk about the opposite. What makes a resistance levels? Sellers. So here you have a stock that went from started right around $9, went up, got close to this number over here, about 1080, hovered, got it even closer, and then finally, bam, the thing drops down to 920. Now, why didn't it want to get to 11? Where does this number 1080 come up to? Well, when you look at the sell column and you work your way down, I know it's a little difficult to read here, but that number is this number right there. There are 207,000 shares at 1088. Not 2,000 shares, not 20,000 shares, 200,000. Okay. Now, is that a lot? Well, when majority of the traders are trading between the 5 and 10,000, and you got almost 10 to 20 times more the average order at a specific number, yeah, I think I would want to pay attention to that. Once again, how do stocks go up? Buyers and sellers, not Fibonacci, MACD, not RSI, and not Schenken. It's all about orders. Now, my question to everyone here is this. Did I lose anybody yet? Is everybody following along? Just give me a yes if you're following along. Give me a no if I lost you. Bill, you following along? Good. Anyone else? Chris, you following along? All right. What about you, Murphy? Cheryl, Steven, Dennis, Craig, Chris? You guys following along? Jose, you following along? All right, good. Listen, the more you chat back, the better you're going to make me feel in a way of, I will teach you more. You don't answer, that means you're not paying attention. Let me explain something to you, fellow traders. If you don't get it here, you should not be trading. I tell my traders all the time, don't take this the wrong way, okay? But I'm a little bit, not arrogant, but I can be rough around the corners because I care. I look at my traders as my children, okay? I don't believe in trophies for last place, all right? Because you don't make money on last place, all right? So you're better off understanding what's going on, because if you're trading and don't understand who you're going up against, and if you don't know that you're going up to what we call here a big iceberg order, you're going to get screwed, period. How long does this give you a large offer? Could it be taken out right away? Chris, we didn't get there yet. That's a great question, but in the next few slides, I'm going to get to that, okay? All right, so let's go over a couple examples, and it's probably going to answer your question, Chris. So here's Amazon, right? Had a really nice run, and for some reason, it decides to tank from 223.50, and within, I don't know, 15 minutes, now we're down to 219. Now, has it ever happened to you? You jump in the trade, you're like, oh my God, why is this thing tanking on me? Everything looked great. You know, now it's going down and you're getting crushed. So this is the issue. It happens to all of us. So what do? Do you panic? Do you sell? Do you buy more? Do you average down? No, what you need to do is you got to take a step back, because there's only one thing that's going to stop this going from $200 down to zero. And does anyone know what that answer is? What is going to make this stock stop going down? Correct. Buyers, Alan. Very good. Could everybody write the word buyers? So I know you're paying attention. Just write the letter B. Okay? Chris, Jose, Billy, John, what about you? Harry, what about you? All right. I want to make sure you guys are paying attention. Remember, I am not here to listen to myself talk. I am here because you guys need to know how to play the game, because if you want to, this is one of the greatest jobs in the world. And if you want to learn how to make money, you better follow the money. Now, we need to find the support levels, okay? How do we find the support level? We got to know where the buyers are. So we're going to go back to the exchange and we're going to say, okay, let's go see what's on the book viewer. And when I look on the buy side, I notice that out of every buyer out there, here's a 300,000 share buyer at 219. Now, just out of curiosity, what do you think could possibly happen at 219? What do you think it's going to probably do? With every buyer out there from 600 to 6,000, what do you think is going to happen when we get to 219 and that 300,000 share buyer? Billy says it's going to bounce. Okay. Anyone else have any thoughts on that? What are you guys going to think? Cheryl, what do you think? Craig, what do you think is going to happen? Is it going to go lower? What do you think it's going to do? Chris says it's probably going to bounce. You know what? I agree with you. I think it's going to bounce too. Once again, how do stocks go up and go down? Buyers and sellers. So what ended up happening? As soon as it got close to that 219, it shot up to 220. How would we have known that? The only way you're going to know it is you got to look at the right of the chart. You got to look where the orders are. You got to look where, where program trading is, what we like to call it. The algorithms, the dark pools, the high frequency trades, the institutions. Remember, they're not playing games. Okay, they got a lot of shares to sell. Maybe you and I could play around with a couple of hundred, not them. Now, let's talk about resistance levels. Okay, you ever own a stock and you don't want to sell too cheap or too soon, or maybe you did, right? How do you know where resistance levels are? Like this example right here, Pony, great run up. And you never want to sell a stock too soon, right? You never want to sell too soon. You look at a stock like this one, 1740, the thing goes up, it's at 19. It's like, damn, should I sell it? It's almost at 20, a whole number. What do we do? Well, you got to look at the right of the chart. So I'm going to see where the sellers are. I'm going to work my way down. I'm going to say, okay, well, where is my biggest resistance level of sellers? And the biggest orders out there is at 19. But wait a minute, we were at 19. Oh, you know what? Maybe it'd be a good idea to sell now. Because if you didn't, now you're back down to 17. And you could sit there and you could scratch your head and you could convince and tell yourself every reason that you're a terrible trader and you shouldn't listen to that person that told you this, whatever it is. This is your fault. Okay. And it's reason why it's your fault because did you know who you're going up against? Did you know you're going up to 100? You're going up against 140,000 shares out there because 700 shares is not going to push the stock down. 2,000 shares is not going to push the stock down. 100 when out of 99% of those orders, the 1% that you need to focus on is that 19. And if you didn't, that's how you convert a winner to a loser. And that is what we call iceberg orders. These are big block orders. And by the way, why we call an iceberg order? I'll tell you why. Anyone here anyone familiar with the Titanic? Sad story. I remember watching the movie. Everyone was crying. All those wonderful people died. Why was it? See, when you look at an iceberg order, it's not what's on top of the water. It's at the bottom. An iceberg is huge on the bottom, and no one really knows that there's a bottom. They just look in that top. Oh, the iceberg is that way. We're pretty far away. All of a sudden, you crash into it. Didn't work too well for the Titanic. So you want to kind of veer away from these iceberg orders. Now, if anybody here would like to get the NASDAQ book viewer, this is what I want you to do. Email me now, okay? And what I like to do, Fausto at CTU, what's it, CTU Trading, right? CTU Trading or CTU Corp, any email's fine. CTU Trading, CTU Corp, any of them. Email me now so it's fresh in your mind. And what I like you to do is, it looks like some of you emailed me already. Just go open up your email. Joe, I got yours. Alan, looks like a bunch of you emailed me already. Fausto at CTU Corp. There we go. And just write NASDAQ. NASDAQ book. And please, another thing, give me your name so I know exactly who you are. There's people here, I don't even know who you are. I like to call you by your first name. And just send it to me. Hit send right now. Because it's fresh in your mind. Just get it out of the way. All right? And what I'm going to send you guys is I'm going to send you all. Oh, they got my email already. Here you are. See, there's my email right there. Here we go. I just sent myself there. All right. So, and what I'm going to send you is 2 videos. Okay. And the 2 videos I'm going to give you, I'm going to show you where to get it on NASDAQ's website because you can't get this through your brokerage firm. Okay. This is directly through the exchange. This is not the Fausto, software. This is not TC2000. This is not, trade tools. This is directly through the exchange. Before today's time, you had to be licensed to get this data. Now you don't have to get it. And by the way, this data is about 50 years old. Some people are like, wait a minute, I didn't even know. This is great. I wish I knew before. It's a great tool. Now, one person, people always ask me, they're like, wait a minute, how much is it? How much it costs? Let me tell you, this is the crazy part about this. Does anyone see a value into that? Right? I mean, if you see a value to see about 50 to 70% of the volume of the stock that you're in. Well, when I started, I had to pay $1,000 a month for this data. Okay. And I'm talking 30 years ago. That's like with inflation, that's like paying $5,000, telling you guys to come up with $5,000. Do you know what I had to pay? Okay. When I started today, it costs only $15. $15 for this data directly through the exchange. Dennis, just email me. Dennis, don't you have to put your email or just email me. Okay. So is that not worth to see where half the volume of the stock that you're in? You wouldn't pay for that? Because I'm going to tell everybody here right now, if you're not willing to make first of all, let me just explain something to you. Trading is not free. Okay. If you're looking for free stuff, you're in the wrong place. Okay. I tried to hire free employees. Really didn't work out too well. Okay. I know as much as we would like to have everything free, but free is all what it's worth. Okay. That's why it's free. But it's not like you're coming up with thousands of dollars. Okay. So for $15 to have a seat on the New York Stock Exchange, to be able to walk into that door that you never were allowed to, and now you're allowed to do that. And if you're in this industry, what's the worst thing that could happen? You learn something. All right. All right. I just see a couple of you guys email me. Jose, I just got yours. Alan, I see you got me getting me the book. I don't know who this is. Balut, I got yours. Ovio, is that you? Okay, I got yours. Hope I mangled your name. So I apologize if I did. All right, just no problem. All right, so anyway, I'll give you my email again because we're running out of time here. I got more I got to cover. All right. I want to talk about one more thing that I showed you earlier. Okay. And it's called level 4. Chris has a question. Does NASDAQ Book Viewer have orders from NASDAQ only or other venues like ARCA? No, ARCA is New York Stock Exchange. It's another ECN. NASDAQ does about 50%. ARCA probably does maybe about 10%, maybe a little bit more. And usually you don't need all of them, Chris. One is more than enough. Okay. NASDAQ is probably the biggest in the industry. All right. But you can aggregate. There are some brokerage firms, and we will teach you in our classes that you can subscribe to multiple ECNs and they aggregate them all. But for now, before you start going out there and thinking about, oh, I can get this, I can get that, let's start small. Okay. Let's just get past the $15 than worrying about being stuck on free stuff. Okay. By the way, I'm a little disappointed. Okay. I'm a little hurt. I would think all of you in this room right now would be emailing me to get NASDAQ Book Viewer. Okay. Are you guys not convinced? Okay. Well, maybe this can convince you. All right. Let's talk about the next level. Let's talk about level 4. Now, this is the same thing that you're going to get, but the difference is it's going to show up on a heat map. So you're going to see how long they've been out there for. And to Chris, to get to your question, you're going to be able to aggregate more orders out there. That's the beauty of it. So let me show you what I mean. We're going to look at these big block orders right here. Big red block orders, big ones, right? So let's go back to the actual market. All right. And let me go bring up my execution system. All right. So let's look at a couple of stocks out there. Let's go check out Tesla. Okay. Because I own Tesla. All right. Why did Tesla bounce at 25. Let me bring this to a day chart. Why did it go all the way down to this number? And now it kind of hovered right around this number. Well, when I bring up level 4, and give me a second here. From the start of the orange line and the end of the orange line, this right here is 9:30. And this is basically 4 o'clock. Okay. And you could see when the market opened up, it came all the way down to this order right there. You see there's nobody in here. Okay. That is where the order was, right around that number. Now, can we break that number? Absolutely. And if it did, you probably go to this number. Okay. Now, how much is that really, that real number is? Well, we're right now in the after hours. This is real time. So right now we're calculating after hours. That's what's out there now. But if I zoom in, that's how much those numbers really are. It was actually 145,000, 100,000, and you can see the big resistance levels there. Let me bring that up here a little closer. There we go. So you could see right there where those big orders are. There we go. You can see where those orders are. So you have a game plan. You know, you got a heat map. You could see it, where it's coming, where it's going. Webull, that was a pretty big one this morning too. That one was on the big percentage gainers today. Webull, same thing. Let's bring it up a little bit closer. There we go. So you can see here on Webull, when it started, it went all the way down to right around 1140. And look at this order out there, 100,000, 160,000, 130,000. When it came all the way down, and then you could see it hovered there, 11, 12, 1, 2. Never wanted to break it, and it started going up. Why did it go up? Because of that, because of those big buyers out there. Okay. StubHub. Okay. Another one. This is an easy one right here. This is like a no-brainer. Started this morning. Program trading was out there. This guy's been out there all morning since the pre-market to the after hours. Big seller hovering right around that 2030. The stock had a great run up, went from 1740, and it went directly to this seller. And you see it clear as the day that order's out there. And then at 11 o'clock, it stopped, and then it came back down, and then a new order showed up, and it went up there. There's a buyer. Pushed it up, and it went right to that seller at just under $20, and basically came down a little bit, but you could see those two sellers out there. So you could see all the orders out there. And think about it. Do the math. If you bought 1,000 shares at 10 o'clock this morning, okay, which is right around $18, knowing that you had this big seller at 20, right? Let me help you out here. 18 minus 20 equals $2. Okay. If you bought 1,000 shares of that stock, you made $2,000. You do that 5 days a week, that's $10,000 times 52 weeks. That's $500,000 salary. Okay. Anyone here making $500,000? Anybody want to know how to make $500,000? How about $250,000? Did you need the $2? Maybe you made $1. Okay. Let's say you got half that. Hell, let's say you got a quarter of that. Anyone here would be happy to make an extra 100 grand? Okay. Well, that's basically trading. Now, did you need a Fibonacci to tell you that? Because I'll be happy to throw that in there. Where are we? Let's see. Does this help you out? Maybe this will convince you. Let's do a stochastic. Let's do an RSI. Let's do a Bollinger Band. MACD. I heard about those are pretty cool, right? Anything else? Are we missing anything else? Want to do a VWAP? Okay. Does that help you? Is that easier to read, fellow traders? Or is this easier to read? Which one is easier? Okay. That's the difference between professional day traders like myself versus people that were not market makers. All right. Now, did I lose anybody? Anybody following along? Anybody here want to learn more? All right. Good. Because this is what I'm going to do because we're out of time here. All right. Finding stocks, lithium stocks that are moving, military stocks are moving, solar stocks are getting crushed. Maybe you're one that, felt like whatever. Maybe you're part of the Green New Deal fans. Maybe you're part of the Trump train, whatever it may be. As a trader, we take nothing personal. We're just here to control our losses and make money. Like it or not, there's always going to be great opportunities. Okay. Now, the thing is this. If you want to learn more, okay, this is what we're going to do. Feel free to subscribe to our channel, our YouTube channel, our TikTok channel, our Instagram, and please go out there, share it, okay? Leave a comment. Make sure you like it. We answer back all our comments. And once again, focus on we got some great videos, but the shorts are awesome. Okay. I like to do a lot of shorts, really just get to the point, right? Instead of sitting there and going over everything. So go out there and subscribe to those channels. All right. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all of them. I think you guys are going to enjoy it. We post every day. But like I said, just go out there and reply back or whatever. But also, we're very proud of Cybertrade University has been endorsed and sponsored by more brokerage firms than anyone in the industry. Okay, just to name a few, you could see a bunch of them up there. We also have a 5-star rating on Google, which is great. If you want to read some of the comments over the years, we changed people's lives. And they'll tell you, if it wasn't for us, they probably wouldn't be here today. Definitely go out there and hear those great stories. All right. But listen, that only is going to help convince you that you got to sign up now because you are in one of the best months of the year. Listen, I don't care if you hate Trump or love Trump, but he's been making today's markets probably so volatile and so great. Every day he opens up his mouth, some stock is taking off. Okay. I'll give you an example. Okay. I'll give you an example really quick. Let me fix this really. What's the big news that's going on right now? Does anybody know? What's the big news going on in Wall Street? What's the big news? The shutdown, right? The shutdown. Okay. So here's United Healthcare. Okay. So I want you to look at, so they did a shutdown, right? And apparently, we had a huge buyer that came in here. I don't know if you heard of the guy, but Hathaway bought a bunch of shares right around 300 and he made the stock run up. So we had the shutdown. And why is United Healthcare going up? Right? So think about it. They're complaining about the premiums, right? They're complaining about the premiums that the people are going to be paying a lot more money and they're going to lose all these people. All these people are not going to afford it. But now they still haven't figured it out that they're going to, who's going to win, what side. But United Healthcare, are they really, really, really trading at $370? The stock has been going up every day. It started at 340. It's already at 370. Okay, so the Republicans own the House, the Senate, and the White House. They don't want to give these subsidies, but the Democrats do. Who's going to win then? Okay, well, you would think like United Healthcare will probably go down if they lose all these subscribers. No, they're actually doing pretty well. Why is that? I don't know, and I don't care. You know what I care about? Not losing money, okay? Because I wouldn't want to be short right now. And by the way, you might say, well, Fausto, I can't afford a $370 stock. Well, did you know that there's an ETF out there called UNHG that just went public not too long ago? The stock in August was $10. It's already at almost 25. Ever thought about that? How many of you here want to trade Tesla, but you can't afford a $400 stock? Did you know that there was a TSLL, an ETF out there at $20? Did you know there was a high yield stock out there? Do you know that these high yield stocks out there, I didn't even get there. You're going to learn this in our training courses. Did you know that these high yield stocks pay 100 to 150% a year? Some of them pay a month. This one pays weekly. I own TSYY, 1,000 shares. I get paid $250 a week. This is like owning rent. Imagine buying an apartment building for $8,000, right? $8,000 an apartment building, and I'm getting paid $800 a month rent. Anyone have a problem with that? Okay. Well, these are the things that you're going to learn as a trader. And that's what we teach you. So it's not just following the orders, it's the strategy behind it. All right. So if you want to go out there and you want to learn how we do this, this is what I did for timing research. Okay. Like I told you, we're not in the free business, but I'm going to do everyone a big favor. I'm going to offer all of you 1 week in our live trading room. I'm going to give you my book. Okay. We're going to give you watch list, everything. All you need to do is click on that link that we just posted or take your phone and scan that QR code. That's it. And this is what you're going to get. Okay. We do live audio commentary with me and my instructors, Josh and Rich. You can have full access to our trading board of all our traders that you saw in there. I mean, look, they're still in there. Look, there's 147 people still in there. Everybody see that right there? They're still trading. Okay. This is me actually being at the Money Show. We've been promoting that. All right. You're going to get all that. All right. What else you're going to get? We're going to teach you how to find these big iceberg orders. You're going to have exclusivity on all our VIP podcasts, and we do weekly workshops that we're going to discuss what moved and why they did it and how we control them, all for $9. Now, some of you probably look at this like, wait a minute, there's definitely a catch. What happens after a week? Listen, I used to charge people $900 for this. But you know what? I know no one's jumping out of hoops to spend it, even though it might be worth it. Okay. I just showed you could have made $2,000 a day just on trading that one stock, StubHub. But I'm like, you know what? It's not for everyone. You might be convinced right now. So if there's anything I could do that just to take you seriously, because I would do it for free, but I just feel like if you do it for free, some people are not going to take it seriously. Okay. Like I said, there's some of you logged in right now and I even told you how to find out half the buyers out there and you still didn't email me, which is okay. I get it, but I can't convince everyone, but the ones that are here that really want to learn and see, hey, the market's closed, Fausto. Could you tell me how you found all these stocks on your watch list and everything? All it is $9. Okay. Now a couple of questions do come across here. What is the cost after the week? Billy, we're not going to charge you a penny. Okay. You're not locking yourself into some residual payment. We do not do that. And the thing is this, Billy, don't worry about next week. Okay. Let's worry about today. All right. If I told you it was $100 or $1,000 next week, you know what? You might say it's a freaking steal. Okay. Because I just made $2,000 today. I can't guarantee that, but I'm just saying, don't worry about next week. Let's worry about today. Let's worry about $9. Let's not worry about next week. All right. So, but I could tell you this, no one here, if you don't want to join CTU, we're not going to, believe me, we don't need your business. We respect your business. I'm looking for traders that are serious, that want to do this, want to surround themselves with great traders, want to see why I've been in business for 35 years, see why we're endorsed for the biggest brokerage firms in the industry. So start there. Couple of questions do come across here. Like some people always ask me, like, I never heard of level 4 before. Why do I hear it now for the first time? Well, the question is, who really trained you? Where did you really learn? Like, was he a market maker? Listen, if I wanted to play football, I want to learn from a coach that played football. Okay. If I wanted to be a doctor, I want to learn from, I don't want to learn from a mechanic at a dealership. I want to learn from a doctor. Okay. If I wanted to be a mechanic, I want to learn. I want to learn from a doctor. I want to go to a mechanic shop. Okay. You want to learn how to trade the market. You have to learn from market makers who trade the floor like me. All right. So that's the big difference. Do I need an account to trade with? That's the other question. No, we don't want you to open up a brokerage account. We don't want you to do anything. You don't worry about trading. You're just there to watch. You just want to see if other people make money doing it. That's the big thing. So don't worry about if you have the right brokerage account, the wrong brokerage account. Right now, all you need is the $9. Okay. How does the live trading floor experience work? Well, let me tell you what's going to happen. When you guys register, we take this very seriously. Okay. Every one of you are going to make an appointment. You're going to talk to one of our education advisors. We're going to show you and walk you through personally, where the orders are, how to read what the traders are talking about. So you don't feel like you're just thrown into a gym and say, okay, you join our membership. Now go figure it out and start losing weight. Because you know what ends up happening. You end up quitting, right? So we want to make sure that you have a great experience at CyberTrade University. So we're really big on that. You're not going to need any special software. Everything's browser based. Don't worry about it. So if you're able to get into here, you're going to be perfectly fine there. All right. Now, let me just jump into the chat. I got a couple of people there asking me a question. But before I do that, let me just say one last thing before I go. If you register right now, I'm going to give you something that probably no one has ever offered you. I will personally talk to you on the phone. Okay. Now, this is the reason. You're going to have a lot of questions to ask. And, and there's no better person to ask than me. So as long as I see that you're taking it seriously and you've been in the trading room, because you're not in the trading room, I'm not going to talk to you because there's nothing to talk about. Okay. We're going to have that conversation, and no matter how long it takes, I want to make sure that you're making the right business decision. That's where it comes down to it. All right. So for the first 20 people that register right now, I will give you a free coaching. And I know for a fact, a lot of you here that have taken training courses and may have spent thousands and thousands of dollars, never, ever even spoken to the owner of the company. Well, here, that's why we've been around for that long, because I want to make sure you guys are making the right trading decision. And listen, I'm going to tell you point blank, and I'll be very honest with you. I'll tell you if this is for you or not. And you might not like it, but you might be very thankful. Okay. But it all starts with $9. It's a cup of coffee. Can we use for swing trading? Great question. So 50% of the trading we do is swing trading, but you won't know what to swing trade if you don't know what's happening over the course of the day. We do a lot of swing trades. Absolutely. Okay. But it all starts from that. And anyone here trade options? How are you going to know what option to trade if you only know what the stock is doing? You can't even be a good option trader if you can't be a good stock trader first. You're doing it backwards. Don't be sold these people. Oh, the less risk and all that. That is even a bigger failure rate. That's twice of a bigger failure rate. Okay. But it all starts here. Any other we got question? Recording? Yes, there will be a recording available once we're done. This has been recorded, so you'll be happy to guys join us right after. By the way, this is all the great stuff you're going to get. And by the way, if you want your $9 back, I'll give you $9 back. Money back guaranteed. I don't need your $9. I'm looking for people that want to make six figures a year, that are sick and tired reading newsletters, sick and tired of hearing the next person about why his indicator is better with him, get sick and tired of looking at these gurus bragging about the nice Lear jets they're flying and cars they're driving. By the way, if you ever see that, that's illegal. Stay away from that. Okay. I'm not an egotistical person. I'm not here to brag. I'm just here to find traders we could trade with. Okay. What time is your live sessions? Great question, Billy. So we start at 7:30 Eastern, an hour and a half before the market opens up. And we go all the way to 4:30. You don't got to be there all day, okay? Best times to trade are the first hour and the last hour of the close, okay? And we do live audio commentary, all right? So all that stuff right here for a very inexpensive price of $9. All right. Now, when you do register, also very important that you do, we're going to ask you about 5 questions. The more you let us know about you, the better it is. We'd like to just know who's your broker, just so we know you have the right brokerage account. Let us know what kind of trading you've been doing right now. And be honest, are you making money? Are you losing money? Are you breaking even? You know, so the more you tell us, the more we could help you. All right. Any other questions? By the way, a couple of shout outs really quick. I got a couple people that are registered right now. Who do we got here? Richard from, was it Massachusetts? Is that where you're from? Oliver Beach. Okay, welcome aboard. Look forward to talking to you and teaching you. Who else we got here that just registered? Clark Easter from California. All right, welcome aboard. Look forward to teaching you. Now, guys, remember when you fill that out, try not to listen. If you want to start your class next week, I know a lot of people are going away. You could do that. But listen, it's fresh in your mind. Try to get it done sooner than later. All right. So if you like I said, the market's been unbelievable. It's been great. Okay. September, October, November, one of the best months of the year to trade. So you're getting at a great time. All right. Any other questions? Did I miss them all? And do we need to subscribe to those tools? Billy, regarding about the tools, no, you don't need to subscribe to anything. If you want, I don't think $15 is going to kill you subscribing to the NASDAQ exchange book. I think you're going to be really, really impressed on that. But before you do that, buy the $9 and we watch those 2 videos that we'll give you. So at least you can, they're really short. They're 5-minute videos. At least they'll show you how to set the defaults, because I know some of you have platforms and you're like, you're looking at all these windows and don't even know what do you need, what you don't need. We have it down to a science. I do a lot of work with them. I've been on their show maybe a dozen times, if not more. I know that thing like the back of my hand. I actually was one of the beta tests that brought that thing to that came to fruition. Who else we got registering here that we got here? All right. We're going to leave, ladies and gentlemen. So please, any questions, register now, or forever hold your peace. Okay. Balut, I got you from New York, from the city of New York. All right. You're a local one right next to me. Welcome aboard. Another New Yorker. Very good. And you probably know better than everyone else. You live in New York. You know, it's the financial capital of the world. Listen, if someone asks me, I want to trade oil. Yeah, go to Texas. Go to Calgary, Canada. Somebody tells me, hey, I want to learn how to be a movie star. Oh, well, don't go to Iowa. Go to California. Go to Hollywood. Someone tells you, I want to learn about the stock market. Go to New York. You know what I mean? This is what we do all day here. We got good food, good shows, and the stock market. Any other questions? All right, traders, I got to go. Let me just waiting for anyone else that has any questions. Register. How much? Oh, and one that comes up too. People always ask me, I couldn't day trade. And this is the reason why I couldn't register, because of the day trading rule. Okay. Anyone had that problem with the day trading rule? Well, let me just tell you this. After 25 years, they're eliminating the day trading rule. They're going to bring it down to 2,000. So the good thing is, before everybody jumps on and starts catching wind of it, and you want to cut the line, here's your opportunity. You don't have to worry about the day trading rule anymore. It's going to be gone. Okay. So you better start learning now before it kicks in, because by that time, you might be a little too late. Andrea, it's as low as $47 a month if you had to. Okay. No problem. Billy, they're getting rid of it. I think it's going to get rid of it in the next couple of weeks. It just has to get approved by the SEC. It already been approved by everyone else, which is going to be amazing. And there's going to be a lot of volume, so you better start jumping aboard. Did you register, Billy? I see you asking me a lot of questions. I don't know if I saw you come across yet. No, I didn't see you register yet, Billy. You did? Okay. I probably missed past you. All right, guys. So listen, David, thank you so much for having me. I really look forward always coming on your show. You had a bunch of great people here asking some great questions. This will be recorded for your listening pleasure a little bit later. So if you guys want to watch it again, you could. Honestly, If you're registered, don't worry about watching it again. Just come and be ready for tomorrow for live trading with us. All right. Good luck, everyone. Happy trading. Trade safe. And if you didn't register, don't worry about it. We'll still be here whenever is the right time. Look forward to seeing you in the future. Good luck, everyone. Happy trading and trade safe.
All right, thanks, Fausto. Yeah, as Fausto mentioned at the beginning, he's been one of my best guests for my events that I've been doing for over 11 years now on timing research. So always great to have him here. And yeah, be sure to sign up for his trial. And if you want the recording, it will be on TimingResearch.com as soon as I can get it processed. Thanks, everyone.